Southampton, England. I'm getting the camera straight here. We are getting ready to head out on a Norwegian fjord adventure. We've got 8 ports in Norway. I do have a video coming out on my 16-day transatlantic transit that hit 4 ports in Iceland, Cornwall, England, Halifax, Canada, and then today Southampton. I'm editing that. That'll be out soon. And then after that, I will just film all the Norwegian fjord stuff and make it one video. So you'll probably be getting a video from me hopefully this week, and then one maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks after. I know a lot of people hate the live streams, and that's okay. Don't watch it if you don't like it, but if you want to join the live stream, ask some cruise questions. I'm on board the ship here, and just waiting for other people to board. I was on the previous cruise on this same ship. I'm on Island Princess for those that don't know, and I'm just waiting for people to board. It's pretty dead on the pool deck here. I'm in a little bitty corner. Figured this would be a good place for a live stream. Hey, Nurse Adrian, how you doing? The chat's going to move relatively fast for me. So if you have a question, please ask it. There are 21 people in the live stream. Usually we have, a couple hundred, so it'd be real easy for you to get a question answered really quick now. Also, if you could smash that thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. This is a pop-up live stream, and I'm in England, so obviously it's early in the morning in the US, so most of my audience is probably asleep. Norway was one of my favorite cruises. Have an amazing time, says Beach Blythe. I'm excited about it. Has the social aspect of cruising changed? The social aspect, you mean from when I started, or just like the history of it? I'm not sure the history of it because I just started cruising in January. I did 2 cruises before that. I was in the Navy for 20 years, so I did a bunch of nautical cruises. But I'd say, if I was to describe cruising in one word, I'd say it's like a packaged vacation experience, similar to going to like a Sandals or something like that. It's just a moving resort, basically. And it's a good way to see a lot of places in a short time and have an all-inclusive kind of price. Socially, I would say it's great. This ship actually has had an amazing solo program, even though it has really nothing to do with the ship, to be honest with you. The first solo meetup I went on here, there was 50 plus people, and every solo meeting after was at least 10, so it was pretty good experience. So yeah, I've had a good time with it. Have you any plans to explore Southampton? So I'm going to be spending a lot of time in Southampton. I'm cruising out of here for the next 2.5 months, and I have a few days overnight. So today I'm actually not going to get off the ship because I just figured it would be kind of a pain in the butt since everyone's boarding today, and where we're docked is actually pretty far away from downtown Southampton. We're not docked in one of the convenient locations, so I decided to go ahead and stay on board today. Question from Jacqueline. Did you have to get off for customs as you were on a back-to-back like in the US? So what's interesting is we pulled into Cornwall, England the other day, a few days ago, and immigration came on board. Immigration came on board, and we basically just walked through a line, showed them our passport, and that was it. It literally took 2 minutes. And I guess that checks us in for the rest of England because I was allowed, if I wanted to leave the ship today with just my medallion. They didn't even say I needed my passport. They just said, have your medallion and an in-transit card. But that's just to get back on the cruise ship without having to wait behind the people that are boarding for the first time today. So yeah. I see Kaylee's in the house. What's going on, Kaylee? Kaylee is moderator extraordinaire. Melanie's in the house. I didn't think I'd get a bunch of people. The solo cruise life. Okay, I talked about that. Let's see. It's 3 in the morning and you're wearing a button-down shirt. I have to decide if this is a dream or not. Yeah, I'm wearing a little linen today. It's about 70 degrees here. And so, well, that's not true. It's about 65 degrees here right now. And I bought a couple linen shirts. I wanted some long sleeve shirts because I'm switching to more of a British audience now. Not British audience for YouTube, but I'm cruising with a bunch of Brits and they just tend to wear more long sleeve shirts. And I just figured like when in Rome. So I bought a couple long sleeve shirts. They're linen, easy to take care of, very lightweight, but it's perfect for today's weather. That's why I put it on. I think I love you right now. You know, like or don't like, we like everybody. Very cool. Appreciate that. I think you look very nice. Well, thank you, Kaylee. I appreciate that. People are just starting to get on board, come on board. I see people with suitcases, and I'm all relaxed because I don't have to switch rooms either. That's a big ship coming behind me. The Asian Naga. But yeah, that's Southampton behind me, guys. Hey, good morning, Ann. I wasn't sure if I'd have anybody in this live chat this morning, to be honest with you. So it's good that some people showed up. And I just figured I'd run it for, an hour or two while people are boarding and just chill. And once people start getting on board, I'll go and do some things. Watch out for the ladies, Kevin. You look like a rich man. Do I look like a rich man? I don't know. I'm in like a $20 linen shirt. Hey Kevin, driving to work on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Happy sailing. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate that. Hopefully the traffic's not too bad. Is the Canadian smoke gone? You guys will see in my Halifax video that I was in Halifax during the wildfires, but I was there on a very clear day, and as soon as we left, there was smoke everywhere. So I got really lucky on that. Good morning, Kevin. I look forward to your post videos. So super happy to start my Monday with you. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I guess it is Monday morning in the States, isn't it? And 5 hours difference now from the East Coast, and pretty soon I will be 6 hours difference because we're changing an hour. If you're on my Instagram, 30 to Wake Up, I posted my Norwegian cruise schedule, so you can see all the places I'm going in Norway if you follow me on Instagram. I'll probably post it on YouTube as well. I'll just post it as a message. Ann says, I'm getting ready for work, cough, cough, maybe I need to go in late. Whatever. You can use me as an excuse. If you have any questions, now's your time to ask them. We only got 31 people in the chat, so it'll be really easy for me to answer them. How's the video look? Is it clear enough? It seems like because I'm facing the sun that I'm a little bit washed out. Let's see. And how's the volume? I turned up my mic. I have it clipped onto me right now. I don't have my wind guard, which is fine because it's not windy. So hopefully the volume's good as well. I have it down my shirt a little bit, so it's not as great. Great backdrop and volume is perfect. Awesome. Can you hear the music in the background? I'm curious. They're playing like Survivor, like a Survivor concert or something like that. We've got 34 people in the live chat. If you don't mind smashing that thumbs up, it helps more people find it. Maybe some people from England will find it. Maybe some Brits will find it. I should have posted this live stream on Cruises for Solos. I hear the Den voices, no particular song. Okay, so that's good. It's not picking up the song. Yeah, we're just starting to get people file on board that have luggage, which is new people. So in my little area, my stateroom steward has 18 cabins, and he told me that 5, I think he has 20 total, but there were 2 empty. There were 5 people staying, and 13 new sets of people. So if that plays out throughout the whole ship, we're talking about like 25% of us are staying and doing the Norwegian cruise, but 75% of this ship is going to be a bunch of people, a bunch of new people, which is really cool. I love the refresh of people. And I've heard this cruise is sold out, so probably going to be a lot of people here. Jen and Tommy, what's going on, guys? McKenna's in the house. What's going on? It's cool that people were able to jump in here this morning. I know it's super early in the United States. I'm excited to be in Europe. Got a pretty cool cruise video coming out. It'll basically be the transatlantic. It'll be the 4 stops in Iceland. Shot a bunch of great video in Iceland. We did 4 places, which was amazing. It's beautiful. I'm definitely going to, when I start traveling a different way, I plan on going and maybe living for a couple months in Iceland. Really love it there. Very peaceful, and the air is so fresh. I like it. Question from Anne. How was the crossing? Any rough weather? So I'll be honest with you, this ship held up really well, even though there were some big seas. I never felt any kind of real movement. Only when we were going up the eastern coast of the United States, we ran into a little bit of rough weather. That was right at the beginning. But I figured crossing the Atlantic would be a little rough, especially going up to where we were in Iceland and going into the Arctic Ocean. Wasn't at all. It was smooth sailing. I didn't hear of anybody getting seasick. Concerts playing over the loudspeaker. So Melanie, on Princess cruise ships, they have this huge screen so they can have outdoor movie night, which is really cool. They give you blankets, you can snuggle up, they bring popcorn, and you watch movies. It's called Movies Under the Stars. They have this big screen. Well, a lot of times during the day, they'll play concerts. They'll have like Celine Dion concert, just anything you can think of. And right now, it's definitely a Survivor concert. Or actually, you know what? It's not Survivor. It's what's the one where the Filipino guy replaced the Perry guy? Is that REO Speedwagon? Or is that? Oh, what band is that? Where the band just got tired of waiting for their lead singer. Journey. There you go. It's Journey, not Survivor. I don't think Survivor has a big enough catalog to have a full concert. Do you have a forecast of weather for all the stops on your cruise? No, you know what, Jerry? I never really even pay attention to that stuff. I kind of live day to day. I rarely know what ports I'm pulling into next. I did post my Norwegian port visit schedule on Instagram. So if you go there, you'll see it, but I'll throw it up on YouTube as well. But I rarely check that stuff. I just roll with the punches and look that morning, usually. Good morning from Lakeland, Florida. What's going on, Kevin? How you doing, man? And if I miss your question, ask it again. It's not intentional. On behalf of Survivor, how dare you? Yeah, I know. That's. You know what? This lead singer, Survivor, Journey, REO Speedwagon, they all sound very similar. And I do like some Survivor songs, but I mean, obviously, Journey has a much bigger song catalog. Because they were together so much longer. I was really just taking the opportunity to quote 40-Year-Old Virgin. Very good. One of my favorite movies of all time. Classic comedy. Even though, it's always cool to have 200, 300, 400 people in a live chat. I also like right now there's 35. I also like when it's small like this because it's much easier to read the comments and obviously answer the questions, but also see the side chats that are going on. I was just watching a repeat of a show that says Iceland has a DNA test that can tell you what you're likely to die from and maybe give you a timeline. Yikes. I don't know if I'd want to know that. This is the only place I come for Survivor music. Hey, what's up, Kevin? How was Iceland? It was great. I got some great videos coming out about my transatlantic that includes my 4 stops in Iceland, Halifax, Cornwall, which actually, Cornwall we didn't do much in because there was really bad fog and we were anchored out, and so they couldn't run the ferries for a long time, and it was a 45-minute ride one way, so an hour and a half on the ferry total, and we were leaving at like 3-ish or something like that. So, hey, Mr. Mitch is in the house. What's going on, buddy? I've been planning my return to Thailand, by the way, Mitch. For those that are just joining, I am in Southampton, England. It is sunny. Well, it's starting to get cloudy, but it was really, really sunny, warm. I feel like I'm in Southern California. I don't know what all the hullabaloo is about it always being rainy and gloomy in the UK, because, you know, it's like Southern California here to me. Did you know that Iceland has to know how close cousins you are for dating purposes? Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there's only 300,000 people on the entire island of Iceland. I don't think people realize that. When you think of Reykjavik in your mind, you think it's like huge, but it's really not that big of a city. It would be considered a fairly mid-sized to small city in the United States and most other places in the world too. I did notice on my dating app I was getting a lot of people liking me, so maybe it was because they knew I wouldn't be a problem DNA wise or incest wise, I guess. How weird would it be to take a DNA test and it's like, you will be murdered? That's funny. That's funny. That sounds like a good next book for you to write. It's a good theme of a book. Kaylee says Thailand would be cool. Well, I'm going through Thailand on my cruising journey, and I'm going to stop there to renew my driver's license, but then I continue cruising. Did you try chocolate-covered licorice in Iceland? It's oddly good. I didn't. I have, in my video, I try poutine when I'm there, which people recommended when I was doing my live stream from Iceland. Nobody recommended chocolate-covered licorice, but I'll try that next time. I don't like black licorice. I'm not sure if I would like it, but maybe I will with the chocolate. Everything's better with chocolate, right? Is Reykjavik where that new prison is that's practically a Hilton? I don't know if it's in Reykjavik, but I know they do have a lot of pretty good, decent prisons in Iceland. I mean, the country's so small, there's probably not a huge prison population. Good morning, senior CrossFitter here. My goal is to work out in Iceland just once. Yeah, I think it would be cool to go running in Iceland. You know, we went to Reykjavik, but we also went to a lot of really small fishing villages, and I noticed that the roads are really, really nice there. And once you leave town, the roads just go on forever. So it would be really cool to like do a long run in Iceland. I don't know, are there polar bears in Iceland? I have no clue. Are there? I don't know. To be honest with you, Iceland was one of the most greenest countries I've ever been to. There was beautiful grass everywhere. So maybe polar bears don't even want to be there. I don't know. Your shirt looks like linen or a linen blend. Did you have merino on today? I do have some merino on today. I just can't show you it. But this is a linen shirt. The video makes extending my disk partition a little more pleasant. What does that mean, extending your disk partition? I love live streams. You look great in your non-black shirt. Well, thank you, Sandra. I appreciate that. I guess this is probably the first time a lot of you have seen me in a non-black shirt, although I do own merino wool shirts that are not black. I just own more black ones, so normally I'm in a black merino wool shirt because I travel with 4 of them, maybe three now. I think one of them finally I had to get rid of. I had it like 3.5 years, and it was getting a little old looking compared to my other ones. Getting excited for the Emerald Princess next Saturday. Solo cruising is my new jam. That's awesome, dude. I'm excited to hear about it, man. Yeah, I'm excited to hear about it. For those who just joined, I'm in Southampton, England. Everyone's boarding today. We're going on a Norwegian fjord cruise. We're hitting 8 ports in Norway, 8 different ports, going almost to the tip top of Norway. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted today my schedule of ports, and so you can see where I'm actually going. But I'll post that on YouTube as well. This is Deb. We met on the Caribbean Princess. Hey, Deb, how are you? And I invited you to join us in the Naval renew we did. Why didn't you join? Deborah, so I went up there, and when I walked up there, I was in shorts and flip-flops, and I felt very uncomfortable being in shorts and flip-flops, but I did watch from a distance. I believe you were in like an emerald green dress. I did watch from a distance, but I felt very uncomfortable because I felt like I should be dressed up a little bit more than I was. And I talked to your husband about it. He didn't tell you? I actually talked to your husband about it. Why I didn't come up to you guys. I wanted to let you know how well Princess treated us. Fantastic. Yeah, Princess is great. Princess is great. Yeah, emerald green dress with tiara. See, I was there. I saw you over there. I felt uncomfortable because I was in like a raggedy t-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops. And I to be honest with you, I didn't think it was going to be as formal as it was, because I've seen them on cruise ships where people are in shorts and flip-flops. And so, I mean, obviously you were in a green dress and a tiara. I felt like I shouldn't be near the wedding procession. But I did talk to your husband later about it. He should have told you. I feel bad that this whole time you thought I skipped it. I did not. Oh, Kevin, you're making this creepier than just say you didn't feel well. No, I was there. I think that was definitely before I got what is it called? Norovirus. For some reason my phone screen just went like darkened, so it's harder for me to read. Wondering if the ship's daily schedule program in Norway as it is in the U.S. So I mean, I think so. Yeah, I think it is. I don't know. We'll see. I would imagine that the people on the ship are going to be a more international crowd now. So I'm curious if anything else changes, like food. Maybe some of the events will change. If I'm able to get a hot water heater, not a hot, you know what I mean, like a teapot type of thing. I've heard a lot of times when you're in Europe, they give you hot water kettles because a lot of people drink a lot of tea. So I'm going to try to get one of those because I like having one of those in my room because I also drink a lot of tea. I don't drink it like a Brit. I don't put milk in it or cream. I think that's disgusting. But I do drink a lot of tea. And ironically enough, I like the English breakfast tea, and I guess you're supposed to put milk in that, but I like it without the milk. So I don't have a really good answer for you there, Jamie. I love tea. I do put milk in black tea, but not green or ginger teas. Have you been invited to the 360 restaurant yet? I don't think that's, Captain Photon, I don't think the 360 restaurant is on the Island Princess. This is an old ship. They don't even have a Crown Grill. They have a Bayou Cafe. And I went to the Bayou Cafe. I was going to the solo meetups, and at the solo meetups, I met this lady named Cynthia, who is a subscriber of mine. And she was on this cruise on a casino deal, and they gave her a free dinner for 3 at the Bayou Cafe. So she invited me and another solo traveler named Jennifer, and we went to and we ate at the Bayou Cafe, and it was really good. I really liked it. It's something unique to this ship. Normally, Princess cruise ships have Crown Grills and Sabatinis. This ship has Sabatinis and Bayou Cafe, which is Cajun food. Strong black tea with condensed milk. That's the Indonesian way. That sounds good. I mean, I love Vietnamese coffee, which is coffee, like super black coffee with sweet condensed milk, and it's so good. Dinner for 3, that's a strange number. Yeah, it is a strange number. I mean, maybe they give it to people because they think maybe they have a kid or something. And so, it's not just a couple's dinner, it's like them and their kid. I don't know what the reasoning behind it was, but she was gracious enough to invite me, so it was free. Normally when you eat at a specialty restaurant on a cruise ship, it costs money, usually $20 to $30. Milk with a little sugar and must be steeped in a tin pot, according to my Irish great auntie. That's awesome. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see I posted my 23andMe results, which, I'm like 98% European, Northwestern European. 63% of that is Irish and English, split evenly between London, Cork, Galway, and Kerry, I believe, Ireland. And so, basically I'm in the motherland now. For me, it's my motherland. The majority of my DNA ancestry is from this neck of the woods. So I'm very UK-ish. I'm very British. So if you guys are just joining, I'm in Southampton, getting ready to head out on a Norwegian cruise. Everybody's embarking today. I'm on Princess's Island Princess. I will do that Norwegian cruise. I'll come back here to Southampton, England, and I'll hop on Sky Princess and start doing a bunch of other cruises on Sky Princess. And then I'll be on Enchanted Princess, maybe? No, Regal Princess. I will be on Enchanted Princess later this year, but not, that'll be out of Rome. When I need a mental pickup, tea and a little sugar. I did anything I wanted, anytime I wanted. Best part of the solo travel. Yeah, I love solo cruising. Do you have any recent enough relatives from there that you would know them? No, definitely not. My great-grandmother, who had my grandfather at 13 in the United States, did immigrate to the United States when she was a little kid. And she died maybe 10 years ago. So I got to know my great-grandmother really well because she had my grandfather so young. So, I know it sounds creepy, but it was cool to have her in my life. Yeah, 13, but remember when that was, early 1900s in the rural United States where, they were doing farming and they had to have like 15 kids work the farms. Have you been anywhere near Australia? I spent a lot of time in Australia in my Navy days, but I am taking a cruise in September. It's 21 days of Alaska. Then we go over to Hawaii, then Tahiti, then America Samoa, then New Zealand, and then Australia. So I will be heading over to Australia soon. Ate at the Bayou Cafe with Louisiana cousins in 2004, and they celebrated the Cajun food for years afterwards. Very cool. Are there any ports on your way to the fjords? I don't think so. It's only one day at sea, so I think we're going to be hitting Norway right away, I believe. Again, like I said, I posted that on Instagram, so if you have Instagram, you can go over there right now, look at my stories, and you'll see my schedule on there, and I'll post it later on here. Sugar Lollies, I like that name. Sugar Lollies says, sounds like an interesting adventure, yeah. What's the weather like there? So it's sunny, around 70, it's going to be 74, 75 degrees Fahrenheit today, which I think is 24 degrees Celsius. So it's really nice out. You know, I always hear these things about England, you know, the UK being gloomy and rainy, and it's sunny and warm. And I feel like I'm in San Diego, California right now, with all those sailboats in the background. If you have a question and I missed it, please ask it again. I'm doing this on my phone, so it just scrolls really quickly. Yeah, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, I think my grandmother was 13, but I think my grandfather was like 16. He wasn't that old either. He died, he was actually still alive when I was born, but I didn't really know him, where I knew my great-grandmother really well, because she didn't die until I was in my late 30s. It's 6:30 a.m. here in Ontario, enjoying the first cup of coffee while catching up on your trip. I appreciate that. I do have a video coming out where I spend some time in Halifax in that video, and then 4 ports in Iceland. I talk about the transatlantic cruise, show you some things I did on board, and finally ending up here in Southampton. I shot the end of the video this morning, so that video will go out, and then the video after that will be this Norwegian fjords cruise that I'm doing. So I just have to finish editing that video, and then I'll put that video out, which will be transatlantic. I've realized over here in Europe, especially the way I'm cruising right now, where we're gone out of ports for a long time, and I'm not hitting the US where I have free 5G to upload videos. There's probably going to be, the videos are probably going to come like, you know, infrequently, but maybe you'll get a rush of videos at once, I don't know. But yeah, sorry about that. And I know some people were complaining in my last live stream that I'm doing too many live streams, and I'm like, hey, look, it is what it is. I just can't release videos right now because I don't have the bandwidth to release them. So, and I'm not even done editing this video because it ended today. So the transatlantic cruise ended today. So, hey, if you don't mind smashing that thumbs up button, I'd appreciate it. It helps more people find it. Or you can smash thumbs down too if you hate this video. I think it's the worst thing YouTube has to offer. Right. Yeah, I thought about just doing some like really simple videos, like, you know, room tours, compare and contrast, but I just put the room tour video into the transatlantic Norwegian cruise video. I just made it all one video, so, you know, whatever. Never a problem with live streams. I know some of you like them, but some people hate them. I lose more subscribers during live streams than, it's the only days where I have negative subscriber growth. Normally, you know, I get anywhere between 20 and 100 subscribers a day. When I do live streams, that day will be like negative 25 people, which is fine. Because those people probably don't want to watch my videos anyway. As many cruises as you take, is sail away still exciting? I wouldn't say sail away is exciting, but it's always exciting to meet new people. That's always cool. And so what's exciting about it for me, especially when I'm staying on the same ship, is the new cast of characters that'll be running around. There's always so many interesting people. I met so many interesting people this cruise. this last cruise, this transatlantic. Some of them are staying on board and doing this Norwegian fjord cruise, which is really cool. Or there'll also be a bunch of new people hopping on board. And so there'll be a new cast of characters. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be a big British audience, or a big, at least European audience. So that'll make it new and fresh and different as well. As far as sail away goes, probably not as exciting as it was when I first started doing this, like on Ruby Princess and Sky Princess. It is exciting when I go to a new ship, but when I've been on a ship for a while and I know the ship really well, it's not as exciting to do that. You become a little bit numb to it. Unfortunately, seasick turned me off, says sugar lollies. So what I would do is I would try the big mega ships, sugar lollies, because those ships don't move around that much. They're so big, it doesn't, like, the waves don't really bother them. People can kick rocks. I love that everyone feels like they can dictate someone's content. Yeah, people do that, and I'm always like, hey, look, like you don't have to watch it. like, I'm not forcing anybody to watch it. Other than Kaylee, McKenna, and Melanie, maybe, I am forcing you guys to watch it. No, I'm kidding, I'm joking. If you try again, go to Doc. Oh, you're talking to Sugar Lolly. Sorry. Sydney, Australia will be amazing, and Part will be right in the city. Oh, the port is right in the city. I love ports like that. If you've been watching my channel, let us know when you're here. I'm sure a few of us are from Sydney. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'll be there in, I want to say October. I'll be there October. My sailings start in September, I believe. Maybe end of October or August. Anne needs to get ready for work. Sorry to hear that, Anne. So Sugar Lolly says, I had pills I took. Did you take them before you started cruising? Because seasick pills do nothing for you once the ship starts moving. You can't say, okay, now I'm going to take them. You take them like a day before you start cruising, you start taking them, and that's when they help. If you try to use them as a remedy, they don't work. They only work as prevention. How many cruises have you taken, and when was your first one? Asks Relaxing Sounds. So I was in the Navy for 20 years. So the first cruise I did was in the 90s, if you count those. If you're talking commercial cruising, the first one I did was after I retired from the Navy in 2012. I did an Alaskan cruise, and then I did another cruise in 2015, I'm sorry, is when I retired. 2015 is when I did the Alaskan cruise. And then I did another cruise in 2018 to the Caribbean. And then I didn't cruise again until December 2019. I did a Panama Canal cruise. And then I started cruising full time at the end of January this year. I have been on, I don't know now, probably 15, 16, 17 cruises. I don't know. I'm elite on Princess. I'm diamond, almost diamond on Royal Caribbean. I'm the max level on MSC, although that was the match. So I've done a fair bit of cruising. Do you book flights directly with Skyscanner or the airline? So Paul, usually I find it with Skyscanner. I find affordable flights for Skyscanner, and then I go on Chase Sapphire Reserve, which gives me a ton of credit card points, and I see if it's available through their booking system, and if it is, usually I'll book with those points. But then I'll look at the airlines too, because I have a ton of points with airlines as well. I haven't paid for a flight in a long time. It's almost always covered by points. So, but I almost always book either on Chase Sapphire Reserve's travel booking system or directly from the airline. Cruising is like a petri dish, I've heard. Yeah. So there's a lot of things though. Going to a sports arena, going to a hospital is probably the worst petri dish. Going to a Walmart, Oh, don't say that gunpoint thing, McKenna. You're gonna get me banned. How many crew? Oh, already read that one. Oh, Kaylee's going to work. Oh, Kaylee, I'm sorry to hear that. Enjoy work. Captain says this will be my last cruise as a Ruby. I'll be platinum. Platinum's the best one on Princess to me because that's when you get 50% off internet, and so then internet becomes so much more affordable. It's like $7 a day, and like when I was on Norwegian, it was $20 a day for their crappy internet, $30 a day for streaming internet. We're on here now; it's like $7 a day for streaming internet, and so. Same with Royal, it's like $20 a day or so. Yeah. Trying to see, maybe if I switch sides here, I won't be so blacked out. Hold on a second. I think you can hear me talking too because I have my wireless mic on. So we'll switch it up a little bit here. Oh yeah, there we go. Much brighter. Kind of sucks though, now I'm not facing the people. I like seeing the people boarding the cruise ship, but that's okay. Am I lighter? I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'll switch back to the other side as the sun moves a little bit more. Home with my cats, mostly shut in. I'm good. Okay. So, what is your all-time best cruise? All-time best cruise. I'll be honest with you. I really enjoyed that Iceland cruise that I just came off of. 4 ports in Iceland, and one of them was Reykjavik, which is a big city, but the rest of them were small, like fishing village type places. That was really cool. So I would say probably that one now, but I'm getting ready to go on a Norwegian fjord cruise, so maybe that one will be. If you have a question, throw it out there. Got 54 people in the chat. If you don't mind smashing that thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. I like when it's these smaller, more intimate groups because it's easier to answer all this stuff. It's easier to see the questions, and I get to see like the conversations of people going back and forth. Where usually I have to ignore that and just try to find questions. For those of you just joining, I'm in Southampton, England. I'm on the Island Princess and getting ready to head out on a Norwegian fjord cruise. We're hitting 8 ports in Norway. Actually, maybe 9. 8 or 9. And tomorrow's a sea day, but then we're hitting a port right away, so that's awesome. No question, just a quick hello. Hey Noreen, how you doing? I hear Steve Perry now. Oh, that means I'm switching sides. What's funny is that's not actually Steve Perry. The one they're playing right now is with the guy who replaced him, the Filipino guy that they found on YouTube. That sounded just like Steve Perry. It's actually that Filipino guy. It's not Steve Perry. Which is interesting. Cruise ships would be my petri dish of choice. Yeah, I mean, there's a bazillion things that you could say that about. I mean, shoot, going to a Walmart or a Dollar General is a petri dish. Johnny is at the O23 meetup. Going Green might not be up yet. Very cool. Haven't seen Lucky in a while. I think Elvie might still be visiting family. Yeah, Elvie's on vacation. I know Johnny is doing her thing, probably building a van right now. They'll turn you into a port guy. Steve Perry was behind me in a line at Starbucks. He is tiny. Oh, Elfin Man. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard the Filipino guy is great. I mean, the reason Journey did that was because they kept trying to get Steve Perry to come tour with them, and he kept putting them off for years, actually. And finally, they were like, I think one of them saw him, that Filipino guy on YouTube, and they were like, you know what? We're not waiting for you anymore. We'll get somebody that sounds like you and go on tour. So good for them. Johnny bought 15 acres. Yeah, Johnny's gonna have a campground and building vans and doing all kinds of cool stuff. She's actually building a van for Bev right now. Beverly, one of my top videos of all time was Becoming Bev's YouTube channel, touring her van. She's actually building a van for Bev right now. Steve Perry tours with Hollywood Vampires with Johnny Depp. Oh, that's cool. Seeing all these people walk on that ship. It's always funny too, as an American, you know, we like to wear shorts. So I'm in shorts today. And, you know, people in Europe a lot of them don't wear shorts very often, even on warmer days like today. And so I'm seeing everyone has pants on. Where last cruise, it was a huge American audience and there was a lot of people running around in shorts. So I'll be the only idiot running around in shorts. So I'll stand out like a sore thumb. Kim Cattrall of Journey, that's funny. I used to have the biggest crush on Kim Cattrall when she was in the movie Mannequin. You know, I was a young kid. I don't even know if I was a teenager yet, but I was just starting to, you know, have an interest in girls, and so I had a poster of Kim Cattrall from the movie Mannequin on my wall. Long before Sex and the City. Long before Sex and the City. What are you here? I think you're asking me what cruise ship am I on and where am I at? I'm on the Island Princess. I am in Southampton, England, UK. I just came off an Icelandic cruise, basically, transatlantic Icelandic cruise, and we're headed to Norway, and we're picking up other passengers. So about 75% of the passengers are changing. So I'm just waiting for that to happen. I'm leaving on the Sky Princess this upcoming weekend for a Norwegian fjord cruise. Very cool. I'll be on the Sky Princess after this cruise. I start sailing with the Sky Princess for a while. Hello from Ontario, Canada. I'm watching while having my morning coffee. I just wanted to say hi. I love the lives you do and look forward to them. Well, thank you, Sherry. It's always nice. People enjoy the lives. I know some people hate them. I wear tennis shoes. It's a conversation starter. The ladies dig it. I'm sure they do. Hey, Gary PW, what's going on, man? How you doing? How you doing, bro? Gary, that's you, right? That's you, my friend Gary from Thailand, right? That's you, Gary PW, right? Okay, that's what I thought, but I couldn't remember because there's a guy who watches my channel, and his channel is called, or his screen name is Gary P&W, Pacific Northwest, and I'm always like, is that the Gary, or is it just PW? So I wanted to make sure. Oh, speaking of that, Gary, you're here, you're watching. So on the other side of the cruise ship right now is the Southampton cruise port. And this morning when we pulled in, there are at least 2,000 Teslas parked there. It looks like they just dropped off a ton of Teslas. So I found that interesting because Gary PW is a big Tesla guy, owns a Tesla for a long time and invests in Tesla. There's like 2,000 Teslas. I mean, the whole cruise area is all Teslas. I couldn't believe how many Teslas were out there. Model Ys and 3s. Mannequin Ear, Kim Cattrall, it's a solid choice for an introductory crush. I like that. There's Johnny's Journeys YouTube channel. Yeah, check that out. Does Gary have a channel now? I don't think Gary puts any YouTube content out. You'll see him in a lot of pictures that I'm in, though. He used to come to we used to have a gentleman's meetup in Thailand for dinner. It was just a bunch of guys that would meet up mostly at the same restaurant. This like American style restaurant owned by an American. And we would go other places, but it was like a weekly thing. And Gary's in a lot of those pictures. My beard's getting long, I need to shave it. Although we're going to Norway, I should look more Viking-ish, I guess. If you have a question, please ask it again. If you just joined a live chat, if you don't mind smashing that thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. We are in Southampton, UK. I'm on the Island Princess. We are picking up a bunch of passengers and heading to Norway. I'm doing 8 Norwegian fjord port visits. So I'm super excited about that. I will post later on the itinerary, but if you go to my Instagram, 30 to Wake Up, you'll see it on there right now. It's in my stories right now. So, do you like the food? Yeah, I love, to be honest with you, cruise ship food is really good. There's always a bunch of options. This ship has, because it's a smaller ship, has less options than some of the bigger ships I've been on, but it has a pretty decent selection of food. I would say on here the buffet is nothing special. When I was on the last ship I was on, the Norwegian Getaway, the buffet was phenomenal. But I'm going to the Sky Princess soon, and the buffet is pretty good on that one. But this ship's much smaller, so I know that's why. Then you can eat at the main dining rooms, which I don't do very often, maybe a couple times a cruise, unless I get in with a group that does it all the time and invites me. You can eat that way, which is a more like restaurant experience. And that's complimentary, it's included in your cruise fare. And then there's specialty restaurants. On here they have an Italian restaurant called Sabatini's. They also have a Cajun restaurant called Bayou Cafe. And yeah. So, oops, hold on, I just dropped something. Sorry. Oh yeah, you can also get, actually I'm on the pool deck right now. There's a pizza place on the pool deck, complimentary. There's an ice cream place, complimentary. And a burger, french fries, Chipotle taco type of place on the pool deck as well. And then a couple bars on the pool deck. So there's lots of food options, and it's all good. It's all good food. I haven't grown tired of it. Although, to be honest with you, every cruise ship food's a little bit different, so yeah. Erica says, I'm happy to finally catch your live stream. It's evening in Melbourne. Oh, awesome. I don't know if you heard me earlier, I'll be in Australia and I'll be cruising to Australia in September. I don't think I get there till October though. Sorry, my nose is itchy. I was going to, actually, you know what? I can use my iPad, I think. I'll just have to download the Princess app because I don't have it on here. I was going to order a Coke. So I know this is really entertaining, YouTube, watching me order a Coke, but I need to download the Princess app on here anyway. Because I've been using my iPad a lot more lately. I've been doing a lot of reading on board. So note to self, when you just type in Princess into Apple's App Store, you don't get Princess Cruises. You get a bunch of Princess games. But yeah, for those just joining, Southampton, England, getting ready to go on a Norwegian. Can you show us? After I download the Princess app, I might be able to, but I don't know how clear it'll come out. But yeah. And if I'll probably see a waitress or something, or waiter or waitress stop by, cruise by, and I'll probably just ask them for it. That'll actually probably be the smart way to do it. Since I'm on the pool deck and there's actually a bar about 10 feet away from me. I just don't want to, that'll be bad YouTube if I get up and go order something from the bar and wait for it. Hey, I've got exactly the same amount of thumbs up as people in the live stream. I don't think I've ever had that happen before. I'm over here in like a cubby hole. I'll show you guys here. The pool is over there. I'm like off in this little hole over here so I don't bother anybody. And they're just gonna start boarding. They've just started boarding probably like an hour ago. And so it's not packed on here yet, but pretty soon it'll be all packed in this area especially. Kelly says, I'll try anything once, but no fried bugs on a stick. You can get a lot of that in Thailand. The amount of times you said you were quitting soda, I don't drink that much soda, to be honest with you. I usually only drink them when I'm on these live streams. 90% of what I like, this was 2 cups of water. I drank 2 cups of ice water during this live stream. And normally it's just tea, coffee, and water. So it's only during these live streams that I do it. Hey, tomorrow's in the house. What's going on tomorrow? I hope you're having a great time. Just logging in. Do you have any sightseeing in the UK? How's the weather there? So the weather's great. It's like 74 degrees right now. I'm actually a little bit warm. And it's sunny. I feel like I'm in Southern California, like I'm in San Diego or something. I am not leaving the ship today just because it's a little bit inconvenient. The part of the port we're parked in, I'm coming into Southampton like 25 times over the next few months, so I'm gonna have plenty of time to explore this area. But yeah, so no plans today, just gonna stay on board, let everybody board the ship, and yeah. Any particular excursions that you're looking forward to? So you'll see this in my Icelandic videos. I didn't do any excursions. I just explored all of the towns that I was in Iceland, walking off the ship, because to me that's more interesting. A lot of times excursions are like 6 hours long, and 2 hours of that is transiting, another hour of that is just like sitting in the bus or standing in some line or getting instruction. And I haven't had very many good excursion experiences, and so I haven't really done very many excursions. And maybe I should, but I like just jumping off the ship and exploring the area I'm in. And if I ever come back to a place twice, then maybe I'll take an excursion. What's your favorite port? What's my favorite port? I really liked Seyðisfjörður. I really like Seyðisfjörður. It's a beautiful place in Iceland. As soon as you walk off the ship, you're greeted with this amazing waterfall. It's a cute little town of about like 500 people, something like that. So it's called Seyðisfjörður. I actually, on Instagram, I asked people how to say it, and an Icelandic guy responded to me over voice chat on Instagram and taught me how to say the name of that city, which is Seyðisfjörður. So spelled like Seydisfjordur, I believe. But it's like the name Sadie, but plural, Seyðisfjörður. Which upcoming places will be completely new to you? Basically everything in Norway. I've never been to Norway before. A lot of the places in the UK, a lot of, when I was stationed in the Mediterranean, I did a lot of the southern coast of France, the Italian coast, the western Italian coast, the Adriatic. So I'm doing a lot of stuff I haven't done, like the Baltic, Scandinavian countries. Obviously, I'm doing the Norway thing now. I'm doing a British Isles cruise, so just going around Ireland, main part of Britain, and like islands like Guernsey, stuff like that. So I'm excited about all of that. So it's a bunch of new stuff. But yeah. Have you booked anything in the Baltic countries yet? Yeah, I have a bunch of Baltic cruises coming up on Sky Princess. A bunch of time in the Baltics. How's the fitness going? Gaining or losing weight? I'm pretty much holding steady at the moment. I haven't gained or lost any since I did my... Actually, that's not true. I have lost more since I did that video about how I lost weight on a cruise ship. I've actually lost a few pounds since then as well. But yeah, I'm pretty much staying steady. I walk at least 10 to 20,000 steps a day, and I think that's why I'm staying steady. I haven't been dieting. I've been just eating what I want. Do you keep notes or have you got instant recall? I mean, I make videos, so. Which upcoming places will be complete? Oh, read that one already. What are the live shows like? Are they worth going? Yeah, I think the live shows are pretty good. Some of them are. Obviously, I cruise a lot, and so some of them become pretty repetitive. I love live music, and there's always live music on a cruise ship, so yeah. That's what I enjoy the most, the live music. Kevin, this is my first time seeing you. Tell me more. Did I hear you say you stay on cruise ships 24/7? That's your lifestyle as opposed to van life? So yeah, every year I change the way I travel. The first year I started traveling, I lived in a different country every 30 days. I traveled with a group program called Remote Year, and that was the way I was planning on traveling for a long time, just living in a different country every 30 days, hence the name 30 and a Wake Up. Then COVID hit, I bought a van, started driving around the United States, filmed van life. I did that for a year. I was in a couple different vans. I was in a Winnebago Travato and a Storyteller. And then the next year, I bought a ticket to Thailand, went through the quarantine process because COVID stuff was still going on, and bought a little motorbike and motorbiked around Thailand, living in different places. And this year, I decided to go back to sea because I was in the Navy 20 years. This year, I'm living on nothing but cruise ships. I started that in January. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. So now you're all caught up. Yeah, remote year is great. You can still do remote year, Kaylee. If If you're going to the Baltic, I will assume Riga is on the list. Yeah, I believe so. Please live stream. Yeah, I will. This is the same Tamara I was on a cruise with, correct? I was on a cruise with you, right? Are you going to chase the color eclipse next year? I don't know. I need to do more research on it. Traveling fowl, I pretty much live day to day, week to week, month to month usually. I just don't plan out too far ahead. I had to with cruising because trying to map it out, I had to book cruises in advance. But normally I don't really do that. So I don't know. I'm not 100% sure yet. Do you prefer sitting up top or inside when a tender lifeboat is needed to reach a port? I prefer sitting up top, although I did that in one of the Icelandic ports and I froze my butt off. But normally I prefer to sit on top rather than inside. Tamara says, no, I was not on a cruise with you. Okay. For some reason, I was on a cruise with do you say Tamara or Tamara? And for some reason, I know you've been a member of my channel for a long time, subscriber, but I couldn't remember if it was you. I don't think anyone wants to do a remote year with an old lady. That's not true. I remember there was like a 78-year-old guy doing it. My group had someone in their late 50s. Are expenses over or under what you thought before you embarked? Under. I always remember the Thailand lizard motorbike crash. Yeah, I had to delete that because I was getting all kinds of complaints about animal abuse, and like it was an animal. Like I didn't intentionally run over it, and it was fine. The lizard was fine, but people were flagging my video for animal abuse, so which wasn't true. I mean, yeah, I would have preferred not to run over it, but it wasn't intentional. I've been a member for a while. I pronounce it. So, well, that's not phonetic. So, there's a lot of ways to pronounce your name. Tamara, Tamara, Tamara. There's like a bunch of ways to pronounce your name now that I think about it. People are nuts, Kevin. Yeah, I know. If you're just joining this live chat, you don't mind, smash the thumbs up. I'm in Southampton, England. I am on the island Princess with Princess Cruises. We are getting ready to head to the Norwegian fjords. We're hitting, I believe, 8 ports in Norway. Melanie says, remote year seems like a cool concept, but I'm kind of past that point in life where I'm interested in sharing living space with people I don't intentionally choose. Yeah, I understand that. You can get your own place on remote year, but you have to pay a little bit more. It's not that much more either. Or at least that's what it was when I was there. And I did that a lot, because I'm very much introverted. So 6 months out of those 12 months, I had my own place. Hello. Nope. Can I get a large Diet Coke with ice? Thank you. Yay! I got the order. Trying to see if my Princess app downloaded, although it doesn't really matter at this point because I just ordered. I don't even know if you can use the Princess app on a No, it's saying I gotta log in. Nah, do it later. Kevin might have got the worst of the lizard ordeal. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. You mentioned introversion. I find cruising is great for this introvert. It can be as social as you choose or not. Yeah, I mean, I do that too. I go like up and down with that. Like sometimes I will, you know, the last week I've been pretty, I wouldn't call myself antisocial, but I've been in the covered pool area. There's a solarium on this ship because the ship goes to a lot of cold places. And the top deck of the solarium is a bunch of chairs that look out into the ocean, and people rarely use them. And I've just been sitting up there reading. I just read, I'm reading a bunch of the prequels to Game of Thrones, which are actually pretty good. Like there's one called A Knight's Tale or something like that. I just got done reading, and I was actually disappointed that the story of the two people in that book didn't continue. I was actually really disappointed about it. And then I read they're doing a Netflix series, or not Netflix, HBO series about that book. So maybe they'll do more with it. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, the solarium's great. It's beautiful too. Has the Coca-Cola arrived? Yeah, you'll see how quick that is. I mean, I just ordered it 2 seconds ago. Oh wait, I have to wait till it's on Netflix. We should have a book club. Yeah, not Netflix, on HBO Max or whatever they call it now. And the book, what was the book called? Waiting for it to pull up here, sorry. Ah. Nope. It's called A Knight of Seven Kingdoms. It's actually 3 of J.R.R. Martin's books into one book. So, yeah, it's called A Knight of Seven Kingdoms. It's like 100 years before Game of Thrones. It's not the new series about the Targaryens. It's not during that time period. It's a different time period. Although one of the characters is a Targaryen. The knight's squire is a Targaryen. I know we're totally nerding out right now. I didn't know that George R. R. Martin wrote prequels to Game of Thrones. Yeah, there's a couple of them. Fire and Blood, which is the current HBO series, the new one that's out. Actually, I think it's based on Fire and Blood. Fire and Blood's basically an anthology of the Targaryens, basically. And then the Knight of Seven Kingdoms is 100 years before Game of Thrones. So there's a lot of familiar names in it, of like grandfathers and great-grandfathers and great-grandmothers of characters that you are familiar with, the same last names. But it's a good book. It's actually it's A Knight of Seven Kingdoms is actually 3 books, but they put it all into one book, so you don't have to pay for 3 different books. And they've approved, HBO Max has approved that book to go into production. And it's a really good story about a knight and a squire, and the squire is a little kid and he's a Targaryen. And the knight is from Flea Bottom, which is like, if you know anything about Game of Thrones. Sorry, this turned into a Game of Thrones thing. If you know anything about Flea Bottom, it's like the lowest of the low. But this knight rose up from Flea Bottom, and he's a knight for hire, so he's not like a prestigious knight, but he ends up with a Targaryen as his, and it talks about their adventures, and it's actually really great. And I was sad that it ended because there's so much more about those characters that I don't know about. Only thing I know is how that knight dies, because it's actually in the Game of Thrones series when Joffrey is looking through the books of the former captain of the guards, and the knight in this book is talked about in the captain of the guards. And Joffrey is talking about him. Duncan the Tall is his name. Duncan the Tall, the captain of the guard. So I know what happens to him, actually. I know how he meets his end, but I don't know the rest of the story in between when the book left off and when we found out about him in Game of Thrones. Anyway, sorry, I'm not gonna bore you guys with any more. Kindle or hardback? So I use iBooks and Kindle. I have the Kindle app on my iPad, but also Apple Books. I don't think it's called iBooks anymore. I think it's just called Books. But does the cruise ship have libraries? Yeah, most of them have pretty extensive libraries, especially Princess Cruise. It's part of their deal, and they have a bunch of books in there. I'm really used to reading on like iPads because I was in the Navy and you just can't bring a lot of books with you. And I got an iPad 1 when they very first came out for that reason, so I could put a ton of books on there. And when I went to sea, I would have I'd go on 6 to 11 month deployments on ships, and you just can't carry that amount of books with you. So the iPad was amazing. And so I'm really used to reading on an iPad, so it doesn't bother me. I know a lot of people like real books, but it doesn't bother me at all. Captain Foothouse says, when I was on the Discovery Princess in Alaska, a solarium would have been nice. Yeah, there's a few princess ships that have solariums. The new ones really don't, but some of the older, smaller ones do, like this one, Island Princess. I believe Sapphire does, maybe Crown Princess. Yeah, there's a new series called Fire and Blood or something, or I don't even know what it's called. The book's called Fire and Blood. Yeah, there's a few prequel books to Game of Thrones, to The Song of Fire and Ice, which is the book title for Game of Thrones. But yeah, you should read that. The book Fire and Blood is an anthology of the Targaryens, basically. That's what the new series is based on. If you haven't watched the new series, it's pretty good. But I really like A Night of Seven Kingdoms. I really like that book because it's only 100 years before, and a lot of the families are familiar. Hey, McKenna, take care. Can't wait for Jon Snow. Yeah, they're doing that show too, right? All right. Hey, if you're just joining, I'm in Southampton, England. I'm getting ready to leave on Island Princess on a Norwegian cruise. We're hitting eight ports in Norway. I've got videos coming out soon for my transatlantic cruise. I just got to finish editing them. I shot the last video this morning when we pulled into Southampton, the last portion of the video. And the video will be from the time I left Fort Lauderdale, went to Halifax, went to 4 ports in Iceland, went to Cornwall, England, and then ended in Southampton. And that's what the video will be about. It'll be all about the transatlantic cruise here on the Island Princess. And then the video I'll start working on today will be my Norwegian fjord cruise. So there will be videos coming out whenever they're done. But I decided to do a live stream today just to hang out with you guys and give a little bit of an update. If you have a question about cruising, solo cruising, travel, anything, throw it out there. We've got a small audience today, which makes answering questions much easier. And if you haven't smashed that thumbs up button, I'd appreciate it. Kaylee asked about, do cruise ships have libraries? Yeah, most cruise ships I've been on have a library. They're getting smaller and smaller on cruise ships. I bet you some of the new ones don't have them at all. But every princess ship I've been on have big libraries with hundreds, if not thousands of books. Oh, I thought you were telling me Rose Leslie died. I was like, no, I don't think so. But yeah, she did die on the show. Her character was great. Where's everybody watching from? I want to see where you guys are watching from. Like I said, I'm watching from Southampton, England. I've always heard England is a cold and dreary place, but it's 75 degrees or about 24 degrees Celsius. It's sunny. There's a bunch of sailboats out here. I feel like I'm in San Diego, California, to be honest with you. So I don't know what all the hullabaloo is about. Steven's in Minnesota. Nigel is in Nottingham, England. Very cool. Watching from Indianapolis. Tomorrow, Poker is watching in Philly. Jamie is in Australia. Kaylee's in South Jersey. I didn't know you were a South Jersey girl. Melanie's in Seattle. We're going back to Portland today. Donna's in Prince Edward Island. Awesome. Dang, Melanie, you're up early if you're on the West Coast. Captain Photon's in Denver, one of my favorite states in the United States, Colorado. Cincinnati, Ohio in the house, a fellow Midwesterner. Although I used to get in an argument with my buddy all the time from Ohio. He used to say he was from the Midwest. I'm like, dude, Ohio ain't the Midwest. Ohio's east. Missouri is the Midwest. That's as mid as you can get and west. I would say Ohio's the Mid-East. How has Starling been on board? It's been okay. This ship has had the best internet that I've had on a cruise ship. But I think that was mostly due to a couple different things. Number one, the cruise ship has the same system as the bigger cruise ships, but there was a lot less people on board, and it was an older crowd, so I think there was a lot less people on the internet. So I don't think like technically it's any better, but I think because of the amount of people using it, it just there was more bandwidth for the people who were using it. So I think it was the best I've had on a cruise ship because of that, not because of anything technical they've done. Greetings from the Virgin Islands. What's going on, man? I grew up in Long Island mostly. After we came back from Spain, well, my dad after the Marines. Oh, very cool. I didn't know that. Grumman Aerospace. Very cool. Very cool. Deborah is from Tucson. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's like a tugboat. Some kind of tugboat. Cheryl asks, will this be your first time cruising towards Norway? Ever been up there? No, I've never been up there. So first time. This will be really cool. We're going to eight ports in Norway, so it's going to be a really cool experience. I'm super excited about it. Yeah. How does your mom, when does your mom meet up with you? So she's meeting me in October, November in Venice, actually Rome, and then we'll fly to Venice together probably. And then we're taking a cruise from Rome to Fort Lauderdale. I've heard Norway is a lot like Alaska, some of the views. Yeah, I've heard that too. Why don't you use Chase Sapphire Reserve to book your cruises? So Chase's cruise offerings are very limited. Most of them are celebrity actually, and they take a lot of points, and I just rather use those for flights. So, but I guess I could if I wanted to, but it's very limited in like which cruises are available. So it's not like a full thing of cruises on Chase Sapphire Reserve's travel portal. If I could book any cruise, I'd probably use it more often, but it's very limited in the cruises you can take. It's mostly celebrity, mostly. Have you seen any icebergs yet? No, but we had a huge sheet of ice, which was not forecasted when we were heading up to Iceland, and the captain was actually really worried about it. But it was not forecasted at all. There was this huge sheet of ice. I didn't see it. I was sleeping at the time, but we were near the Arctic Circle, and so we were getting 20 hours of daylight a day, and it was at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was sleeping at that time. I wish I would have known, because I definitely would have went up there and like looked at it, and and filmed some video. But but I haven't actually seen any icebergs. Iceland was pretty green, to be honest with you. There was a little snow on some of the hilltops, but it was one of the greenest places I've ever been, to be honest with you. It was very green. When do you switch cruise lines next? Do you look forward to boarding a different ship after settling into your current ship? So yeah, I'm looking. So I don't have any other cruise lines booked. I'm pretty much on Princess, unless some things change, until at least October. And but I do switch ships a lot. So after this ship, I'll be on Sky Princess, then Regal Princess, and then Grand Princess, Enchanted Princess. So I will be doing a bunch of different princess ships and ships I haven't done yet. But it was just too affordable to not book them. It was just so affordable to book them. So I'm on mostly Princess, but I will do more cruise lines. Are you planning on doing an Arctic plunge? No. I have no desire to do that. Have I ever cruised on one of the luxury lines? No. I have not yet. You asked if I look forward to switching to different ships. Yeah, I love, like, cruising for me is mostly about the ships more than the ports. Although now that I'm over in Europe and I'm hitting a bunch of places I've never been, instead of in the Caribbean where I was hitting a lot of the places like many, many times, I'm more interested in the ports. But for me, it's like now it's like 60% about the ships, 40% about the ports. So I'm excited to try some different ships, and I love getting on a new ship and exploring it. Will you do an Alaskan cruise? Yeah, I have a 21-day Alaskan cruise coming up in August. And that cruise actually turns into a trans-Pacific cruise. So 21 days, Alaskan, and then I go to Hawaii, America Samoa, Tahiti, Pago Pago, New Zealand, and then Australia. Up in Norway, I've heard we're going to have we could have 24-hour or 22-hour days, so I'm excited about seeing that. I did film at midnight on in the video that I'm working on now, when we were above the Arctic Circle near Iceland, I did film a video there. So that'll be a segment in my video. When and how do you book your legs? So I have a whole video on how to find affordable cruises as a solo, but I use a website called Cruise Plum, like the fruit plum, Cruise Plum, and that's how I find cruises. It's not a travel agent, so you can't book through them. It's just a search engine. It's a great search engine. I find my cruise, and then I go to the cruise website and I book it directly through the cruise line. But Cruise Plum is really good for planning the different legs because you can search by specific dates of when you'll leave, and you can narrow it down to a bunch of whole different options. It's an amazing search engine. I have a whole video about it. Hey, Elvis in the house. Hi from Monterrey, Mexico. That's awesome. Ben says, hey, how's it going? It's going good. We are in Southampton, UK today. I'm on the Island Princess. Everybody's boarding. I'm staying on the same ship that I was on for the transatlantic. We're boarding a bunch of people today. About 75% of the passengers are changing. So it's a bunch of new people running around the ship, new cast of characters, and we're heading on a Norwegian cruise. If you follow my Instagram, I already posted my Norwegian cruise schedule on there, so you can see the 8 ports I'm visiting in Norway. And I'll post it on YouTube sometime today. Have I thought about next year? Not really, to be honest with you. Have you found the Wi-Fi to be strong enough for working on a cruise ship? Yeah, this cruise definitely. Like I mentioned earlier, the Wi-Fi on here has been fast. You can watch Netflix, whatever you want to do. It's been pretty fast. It's not great for uploading videos. It's only about 1 meg up. But for watching, streaming like something like Netflix or YouTube, it's fine. But I think a lot of that can be attributed to the, number one, the demographic on this ship has been older, so I think a lot of them are not using the internet. I know a lot of them don't even use the app, so I'm assuming they're not using the internet. And also it was a smaller amount of people, and so I don't think the system's any better on this ship than it is on any other cruise ship. I just think that the amount of people using it was way down. So for us that were using it, it was really good. Will you dip down to Denmark on your cruises? Yeah, doing a Scandinavian cruise. I've got a bunch of different cruises coming up. We're doing Norway, and then I'm doing a Scandinavian, a Baltic cruise, a Mediterranean cruise, British Isles cruise, a bunch of different cruises. So excited about those as well. Should be a lot of fun. My next cruise after this one is a comedians cruise. So it's going to be full of a bunch of comedians. Deborah, I'm in the Pacific Northwest. I used to live in the Pacific Northwest, so I'm sure you know that. I used to live in Everett, Washington. I liked it. I like living up there. It's beautiful. Kelly says, I'd love to be on the comedians cruise. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Are you going to the pyramids? I don't have anything scheduled at the moment, but I definitely want to do some Middle Eastern cruising, so I think so. Lynn says, go Navy. Yeah, go Navy. Hey, Kevin, good seeing you. Ate any good food lately? Yeah, definitely. I've been eating nothing but good food. I filmed me eating poutine in Halifax, so that'll be in a video. I know you guys love seeing me eat food in the video, so that'll be in a video. We've got 90 thumbs up, only 10 more to 100. If you don't mind smashing that, it'd be amazing. Hey, Kevin, good seeing you. Oh, I already read that one. What's going on, Calvin? How you doing, man? Yeah, I've heard that about comedians, that they don't like when people say, hey, say something funny. I think I saw I think that was in a Seinfeld episode actually, where somebody found out Jerry was a comedian and they said, oh, say something funny. And he just did the typical Jerry Seinfeld response, which was kind of funny, but not intentional. Whenever I see Captain Photon's name, it makes me think of Professor Proton from The Big Bang Theory. I don't know why, it just does. Maybe because photon and proton are similar, but that's what I think of every time I see his name. A lot of people boarding the ship now. I'm curious how much busier the ship's going to be. There's definitely going to be more people on this cruise than were on the last cruise. Came in late. How was the crossing? It was great, Ben. I will be putting out a video about it soon. I just shot the last portion of the video today when we arrived in Southampton, obviously. So that video will include all of the transatlantic crossing from Fort Lauderdale to, Fort Lauderdale, my hotel room in Fort Lauderdale, boarding the ship, a room tour of my cruise cabin, a port visit in Halifax, the port visits in Iceland, going above the Arctic Circle, seeing the midnight sun, crossing the North Atlantic to Cornwall, and then here to Southampton. Our travel agent said she had a hard time getting former Navy people to go on cruises. Yeah, that's a true statement. A lot of people in the Navy don't want to cruise. I get that from my friends all the time. I can't believe you're cruising. And what I always say is it's a million times different than cruising in the Navy. To me, it's like saying, because in the military I lived in the barracks, I'll never stay at a hotel. That's my analogy. It'd be the same as, I had to live in the barracks in the military, therefore I'm never going to stay at a hotel. That's how I compare it, because there's no comparison between being on a cruise ship and being on a cruise in the military. There's no comparison. There's only one thing better about being on a Navy cruise than on a cruise ship, and that's port visits, because you stay 3 to 4, sometimes longer, in the port. So you get to experience the port a lot, but you have to work every day too. But yeah, it's definitely hard to get my Navy friends to cruise. None of them want to cruise. So. That seagull looked like a plane to me. It's so warm today, I might get into the pool. the pool that's outside. So this cruise ship, most princess ships have multiple pools, at least 3, sometimes more. This ship has 2, one outdoor and one indoor under solarium, because this ship does a lot of cold weather cruising. Like obviously we were in Iceland and now we're going to Norway, of the Arctic Circle. They do Alaskan cruises, things like that. So they have a solarium pool area. But the outdoor pool here is actually heated. Some people told me it's actually warmer than a solarium pool. It just makes sense. But it's heated, so there are people that swim in it, even when it's freezing cold outside. There's also, on the outdoor pool deck, there are 4 hot tubs, and those are always going. Solarium has a couple hot tubs as well. But there's always people in the hot tub in the cold areas, which I think is cool. Hey, Tara's in the house. What's going on, Tara? How you doing? I think you should see how many of your season 1 buddies you could round up to go on a cruise with you. Yeah, for those who don't know what you're talking about, season 1 is when I traveled with a remote year. I traveled with the same 35 people for a year. We lived in a different country every year, or a different country every 30 days. And some of those people were in season 2, were in my videos and when I was doing van life. But none of them were in season 3 when I was in Thailand, and none of them have been in season 4 on cruise ships. So maybe I can convince some of them to come on cruises. One of the people I did remote year with, his name is Harry. He's from Guernsey, which I'm going to Guernsey, but he's in medical school in Europe. And so I don't know if he'll be there when I'm there. I don't think so. But, yeah. Hey, Cruising for One's in the house. What's going on, man? Yeah, things are going well. What are the laundry facilities like on the ship? So one of the things I love about Princess is they have self-serve laundry. I'm elite now on Princess, so I get my laundry done for free if I want, but I usually just do it myself because I have a lot of merino wool, and cruise ships tend to ruin that kind of stuff. So I just do it myself. Other cruise lines don't have self-serve laundry. You have to send it out. Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, MSC, they don't have self-serve laundry. The only ones I know of that do are Holland America, some ships, Carnival, some ships, and every ship I've ever been on in Princess has it. Going to Norway for 7 days out of Southampton next May. Did the British Isle in 2019. It was great. Yeah, I'm excited about that one. I mentioned this earlier. I posted my 23andMe results on Instagram the other day when we were transiting through the British Isles, and I said, I've arrived at the motherland, because I'm 63% British, mostly from the Greater London area, and then Kerry and Galway and Ireland is where most of my DNA comes from, a big portion of it. So I'm excited to do the British Isle cruise just for that reason. Disney has self-serve laundry. Okay, that's good to know. I did not know that. Cat D's in the house on Princess also. We're getting a bunch of people jumping in here, so if you got a question, please ask it again. Laundry is a must. Buy laundry powder and dryer sheets is an easy way to save money on board. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they sell those laundry sheets, which I was carrying with me, but when I was in Fort Lauderdale recently, I just bought a bunch of Tide Pods, carried them on board, and so I've been using Tide Pods. Captain Poton says, I'm doing a 16-day Hawaiian cruise. How many trips will Princess credit me as a solo? So if it's a 16-day that can only be booked as one cruise, then you're going to get 2 credits as a solo. If it's like a 2-part cruise, then you'll get credit for 4 cruises. But I'm assuming a 16-day Hawaiian cruise is only going to count as 2 cruises for you. You only get, like this cruise for me is a 33-day cruise. I booked it as 1 cruise, but it's actually 2 cruises. It was a 16-day transatlantic cruise, followed by a Norwegian fjord cruise. You could have booked it as 2 separate cruises. I booked it as 1, but I'll get credit as if I'm doing 2 solo cruises, which since you get double as a solo cruiser, I get full credit for 4 cruises. It doesn't really matter for me anymore, to be honest with you, because I'm already elite, so it doesn't matter at all. But yeah, I'll get credit for 4 cruises for this cruise. Now it's just all about cruise days, and that's only for like bragging rights or becoming one of the top 3 cruisers. At the end of this year, I'll have about 200 days on Princess cruise ships. So, yeah. I'm not anywhere near top cruiser though. The top cruiser, this cruise that I was just on, had 1,700 cruise days. And you don't get double cruise days on here for a solo. You don't get double credit for cruise days. You do for cruises, not for cruise days. So that was 1,700 real days. I mean, that's multiple years. So, once you're elite, it's better to book a longer cruise. Yeah, as a solo, you can book a longer. Well, you mean a longer cruise that's not broken into different cruises? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they had 1,700. I don't know what the 3rd place is. Usually they call up the top 3. And at the end of this, I'll have 200 days. I think on a shorter, maybe Caribbean cruise, I might be able to come close to the top 3 by the end of this year, because I'll have somewhere around between 200 and 230 cruise days on Princess. So maybe I'll be able to crack the top 3 on that, although it doesn't mean anything except for they give you a bottle of wine, which I don't drink anyway. Do you study languages a bit as you travel? I mean, I studied Spanish when I did remote year because I was in 5 Spanish-speaking countries. When I lived in Italy, I studied Italian, but I haven't really studied a lot of languages, and maybe I should. There were only 3 thumbs up from 100. If you don't mind smashing it, I'd appreciate it. Which ports are you going to miss at in the beginning? So I'm doing 8 Norwegian ports in the Norwegian fjords. So yeah. And if you want to know my cruise schedule, I'll be posting it later on YouTube. But if you're following me on Instagram, 30 to wake up, you can see it right now. I've got it posted on my stories right now. Okay folks, I think I'm going to call this a video. As much as I'd love to stick around, I know I'm going to start running out of battery, and there's a ton of people coming on the cruise now, and so I'm going to give up this seating area so people can sit down and eat their pizza and stuff like that. So thanks everyone who showed up this morning for this impromptu live stream that I just felt like doing. Take care everybody, and I'll be putting out a video soon.